Welcome to ADHD Whiskey. My name is Matt, and today is 1 Ounce Wednesday. On 1 Ounce Wednesday, I typically take a sample out of this box behind me, totally blind, and I pour it in a glass, and I do a review not even knowing what the heck it is. But sometimes on 1 Ounce Wednesday, I do things a little bit different, and today is one of those days. Today, I'm taking a sample I got from a distillery, I'm pouring it in a glass, and I'm gonna review its ass. Today on 1 Ounce Wednesday, we're reviewing the brand new Jack Daniel's Twice Barreled Special Release Tennessee Rye Whiskey finished in heritage barrels. It's 100 proof. It's a product of Lynchburg, Tennessee. Why is my light off? Heritage barrels. These Jack Daniel's special releases have been nothing short of magic. But not as magical as today's video sponsor, Magic Spoon. Magic Spoon is a high-protein, keto-friendly, gluten-free, grain-free, soy-free, wheat-free, naturally flavored, totally delicious childlike cereal for grown-ups. Magic Spoon comes in more flavors than you could shake a spoon at. And not only is the cereal fantastic, but it fits a variety of lifestyles. Before I met Magic Spoon, if I wanted a 140 calorie snack with 13 grams of protein, I had to dig my teeth deep inside of a beef jerky stick. But since I met Magic Spoon, I kicked all my other snacks to the curb. And I use Magic Spoon to curb my appetite while upping my protein game day and night. Everybody who knows me knows I'm loco for cocoa. So if you want to up your snack game while also upping your protein game while living in the state of childhood nostalgia, then click on my link in the description below. Or scan this QR code on the screen, use code ADHD at checkout, and you'll save yourself $5 off a variety box, which is an ultra super special custom variety box that you build yourself. Jack Daniel's is coming out with so many special releases, it's hard to keep them straight. Their 10 and 12-year-old offerings this year have been friggin' phenomenal. They're also doing their single barrel proof rye offerings. Those started this year. They have a Tennessee whiskey finished in tequila barrels that I still haven't reviewed. And not to mention, they just released a new staple rye. They're bottled in bond. So you could say that Jack Daniel's has been busy pumping out new product. But one thing that they do every year is their yearly special release. Last year it was the small batch Coy Hill, and this year it is this. Jack Daniel's Twice Barreled Special Release Tennessee Rye Whiskey in heritage barrels. I have yet to come across such a bottle in the wild, but thanks to Jack Daniel's, I do have a bit of a sampski to sample and score. So if you're ready for this 1 Ounce Wednesday, America, let's pour ourselves an ounce or more. The mash bill on this Tennessee rye whiskey, 70 rye, 18 corn, 12 malted barley. So it's not a high rye and it's not a low rye. It's like a mid rye. If you think of rye percentage in women's jeans, they're not low rise hip huggers. They're not the mom jeans that go around the bottom of the breasts. It's kind of like right in the middle. It kind of lands where women's jeans should fall. On the floor next to my bed, kaboom, thank you. The color on it is ridiculously dark, which has what I would consider to be a lot to do with the double barreling process. This was aged for a minimum of 4 years in its regular oak barrel and then transferred into one of the Jack Daniel's heritage barrels to continue aging until complete. Now, if you're familiar with my palate, what I enjoy, then you'll know that a lot of double barreled, double oaked, toasted oaked offerings aren't exactly up my alley or anywhere near my boulevard. A lot of times these double oaked products get a bit too like raw woody. They smell a bit lumber-like. But this sample bottle has gotten some air, and I'm very excited to find out whether or not this Jack Daniel's double-barreled heritage special release 100 proof rye whiskey tickles my fancy, or if I'll refuse to give it a second chancey. Color is extra dark, so that double barreling process is just pulling the colors out of the wood. Wow. That is extracted nosing elements in their purest form. That is strong. Wow. This smells like if you baked a cake with all the vanillas and sugars and eggs, all the wet ingredients, and you just beated them together. This smells like all the wet ingredients for cookies. Sugar, vanilla, brown sugar, more sugar, egg. If you mixed those ingredients inside of a whiskey-soaked toasted oak bowl. The first time I tasted this, I thought that the double oaking process was just like too much. It was too much, a little too raff.
Yeah, a little too raff.
Coming back to it now, the nose is like a little bit more well-rounded and not as sharp and pungent, but it still packs a punch in the form of a potent, perfumey protagonist. The nose on this is actually really, really good because there are so many different directions you can go. The wet cookie ingredients, one way. There's also some dark berries in a different direction, even some like espresso notes in another direction. If the nose on this glass had a relationship status on Facebook, it would say it's complicated, because it's complicated. Going in for a taste of this special release. Wow. That has mellowed out tremendously. I opened this sample bottle a week and a half ago and had a little bit on a live stream and a touch before that. It was so sharp then. It was so sharp and pointy, but after getting some air, this thing has really mellowed out, really softened, and I'm enjoying this much more than I thought I was going to. The palate comes in waves. It kind of hits hard up front and then kind of takes a breather, and then it spices back up on the back of the palate and into the finish. If I were going to try to recreate the flavor of this, I would take like vanilla extract, ginger, molasses, and wasabi, and I would muddle them into a bowl. I'd muddle them in a bowl. I would then mix it with 4-year-old 100 proof Jack Daniel's Tennessee Rye whiskey, and I would taste it and be completely shocked how far off I was with my tasting notes. There is a bit of that lumber, that green lumber that still kind of lingers around, but in this double oaked offering, it's not like extremely out of control. It's well managed, but it's still there. I will say this, there are people out there who are going to absolutely love this. This is gonna be their whiskey of the year. This is gonna be their jam. Unfortunately for me, I typically don't like fall in love with double oaked or toasted oaked products, and that is the category that this is gonna fall in. Do I think it's very good? Yes. Is it a flavor bomb? Absolutely. Is it something I would reach for very often? No. I'm gonna give this whiskey a score, and then I'm going to coin a new term. A new whiskey term will be coined during the outro of this video. Today on 1 Ounce Wednesday, Jack Daniel's twice barreled special release Tennessee Rye Whiskey Heritage Barrel Rye 100 proof receives a score from me of 7.7. It is very good, but it is not something I'm gonna go nuts over. If I find one in a store for retail, which is like $75, will I buy one? Absolutely. If I purchased that bottle and I had a friend who couldn't find it, but really wanted it, would I give it to him or her for $600? Absolutely. I can tell by the flavors and potency of this whiskey that there are gonna be so many people in love with it because it is very good and the bursting of flavors is remarkable. And Jack Daniel's is absolutely killing it. But I believe that they killed it in the category that just isn't the category in which I like to partake, if you know what I mean. Thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you, Jack Daniel's, for the sample of this Heritage Barrel Rye. Thank you everyone for watching. Thank you for hitting the thumbs up. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you to my Patreon community for making this all possible. Leave a comment below. Have you had this? And is this up your alley? Is this up your ass? My name is Matt, this is ADHD Whiskey, and like I always say, keep your head in the clouds, but your mind on coining new terms and thinking about this Jack Daniel's special release today after having the Jack Daniel's 12-year and 10-year and their barrel proof rye, and then the Coy Hill small batch and the Coy Hill single barrel. All those flavors and smells that are in that whiskey are so condensed. They're just like, how do they get that much flavor and smell into that whiskey? It's remarkable. It's kind of like when you change the garbage bag and like you tie up the old garbage bag and you get a whiff of it and you're like, wow, a little bit of garbage there, right? And then you go out and you throw it in your dumpster thing. And then a few days later, you're like, whoa, we went through another garbage bag. And then you change the garbage and tie up the old one and you're like, oh, garbage. And then you open the dumpster outside and you're like, wow, that's a smelly bitch. In goes that garbage bag. There are levels to stinky garbage, am I right? There's a potency difference between the garbage bag you took out of your house and the garbage dumpster thing that you throw the garbage bags in outside. That garbage dumpster outside smells so strong and not great. But putting that into whiskey terminology, it's just different potency levels. If most whiskeys are at the flavor and smell level of a used full garbage bag, and really good, strong smelling and powerful nosed whiskeys are like the dumpster outside your house, these Jack Daniel's limited releases, the Coy Hills and the Heritage Barrels and their 12-year offering, them bitches are like a landfill. Ever go to a landfill? Ever go to the dump? That smell doesn't leave your face for like 2 days if you go to a good landfill. It's just in there. Like, how does it smell that strong? How is that smell there? If you bring your vehicle there, your vehicle never recovers. It smells like dump from there on out. So, from here on out, I am coining the term landfill whiskey for the whiskeys that smell and taste absolutely phenomenal because their level of extraction and potency of flavor and smell. The strongest and best smelling whiskeys are now known as landfill whiskey. Write that down. Or just remember that. Van Wilder.